Aluminium supplier Norsk Hydro has announced 2 new low-carbon products. That's as part of its aim to become carbon neutral from a life cycle perspective by 2020. We've also had an update, this being a Capital Markets Day, an update on the improvement targets that this business is aiming for. Let's get more details then. Svein Richard Brandtzaeg is the CEO of Norsk Hydro and joins us now here on set in London. Svein Richard, great to have you with us this morning. Thanks for coming in. So tell us a little bit more what's behind this improvement, the improvement in your targets that you're able to deliver here. Some operational challenges that you were having now being corrected. What's the biggest driver of this improvement this morning?
There are several initiatives, and after acquiring the shares of Sapa from Orkla, we are the largest integrated global aluminium company with several opportunities for us to improve. So there are strong efforts along the whole value chain to deliver 3 billion Norwegian kroner as a target for 2019. So there are strong efforts in several parts of the company.
Many CEOs who come to sit down with Anna and myself talk about the synchronized global recovery. I want to get your sense of just how global is the recovery. If you look at the FA function on the Bloomberg, we can see where you do business. Core area in Europe, you've got Asia, you've got the US. Talk us through your global perspective. Is it synchronized? Is it a boom or a boomlet for Svein Richard Brandtzaeg?
In fact, it is a situation now where we see positive growth development on demand in all areas in the world. We see it in China, although China is coming down from double-digit growth to more, we expect 4 to 6% growth in aluminium demand in China next year. In the US, we see GDP is going up. Europe, GDP also positive. So demand both in US and Europe is also very positive seen from our side. So the demand of aluminium is a function of GDP, but it's also additional substitution that is ongoing in aluminium that makes the demand even higher than GDP.
Where's that substitution effect coming from? Which industries? And I wanted to ask you particularly about the fast-changing automotive industry. What's your assessment of where we go there? Do you see continued demand growth from the automotive industry, which is in a real state of flux in terms of many parts of its technology?
Yes, we are now discussing the next car models with several OEMs, and we see that there will be more and more demand for aluminium going forward. It is a drive for reducing CO2 emissions and fuel consumption. Also, battery cars need more aluminium to become lighter and with a longer reach. And our customers are now also asking for carbon footprint of the cars, which is the reason why we are now launching 2 new products today.
Let's talk about those in the context. Xi Jinping has just had everybody in a room for the 19th Congress. He mentioned the environment 89 times. And he only talked about the economy, not only, but he talked about the economy 70 times. Are we going to see a much more aggressive demand to manufacturers like you about the environment, about the carbon footprint of your product? Are we going to skip a generation in China on the environment question?
This is a very important question, and we see that China now, who has more than 50% of the global capacity in aluminium, also representing 50% of the global demand in aluminium, China is now coming to a point where the environmental challenges is now at limit, where they have to be corrected. China is now introducing the so-called Blue Sky Initiative, which started the 15th of November to clean up the air in 26 plus 2 cities, as they say it. And that has an impact on the global demand. We have also seen the supply side reform in China has also an impact on the supply balance in China, which means that we are now entering into a largely balanced market coming from oversupply situation globally, and even tending towards a tighter situation in 2018.
Isn't that in China you see that there's a tight situation?
Globally, it's tighter. There is still an oversupply in China, but there's a substantial deficit outside China.
And yeah, so, sticking with the China story, I mean, President Trump in the United States has started a probe into aluminium that China has called protectionist. Do you see anything that the president is doing in the United States as a threat to what you do, as a European producer?
So far, we don't see a big impact, and there's been a lot of words, and it remains to be seen what will be the actions around it. So far, it doesn't have a big impact on our business.
No CEO who runs a business like yours is going to get out of the Bloomberg building without talking about the price. And we've had a fairly lofty run on aluminium, up 20% on the year, giving a little bit back in November. In terms of the supply that you talk about, the oversupply in China and those constrictions on the other side, where do you see aluminium prices going? Give us your overall outlook.
Well, we see that the aluminium price is very much a function of the supply-demand balance globally.
Now, that bit I know, but I'm going to push it.
Yes.
I'll see the charts.
And with the situation where the input factors has also increased in cost, we see caustic soda going up. There are some energy prices in different parts of the world that are higher today. So the cost curve is going up, and the price of aluminium is normally close to the 90th percentile of the global cost curve. So if you look at that and the price we have today, we are quite close to the long-term pricing of aluminium. So
sounds like it's going higher.
Well, it's a largely balanced market, so it could also go sideways.
Okay,
we don't know.
Go sideways. There we are.